All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kelly Beavers, and I have the distinct pleasure of being the director for the Department of Recreation, Parks, and Tourism in this fine county of ours. Welcome. We are very pleased to have you. I hope more come. I hope this is standing room only. This is an exciting project. I have done a lot of projects, but I've never been excited as, whoa, what's going on? I'm good? Okay. I've really never been this excited about a project, and I've done several. So I'm so grateful that you all are here. I have to do just a few acknowledgments, just a couple pleasantries here. I would like to acknowledge our Board of County Commissioners. Commissioner President Ruben Collins has arrived. Commissioner BJ Bowling is here this evening. And we have our acting county administrator, Miss Deborah Hall. So very glad to have you all here. We have representatives from all across county government here this evening. Hopefully you stopped at some of the tables and have seen these folks. We have representatives from St. Charles Town Center here with us. We are here to hear from you. There's one person that I'm going to introduce, and he's going to come up very shortly. Could you wave your hand? Mr. Sam Drury, he's the Deputy Director for the Department of Recreation, Parks, and Tourism, and he has been the lead for the county on this project and doing an amazing job. So let me just say a few things. I really don't like this ringing noise, Brent. Okay, I'll keep talking. Few things that I want to share about this project. This project is a generational project. This is for you, this is for your kids, this is for your grandkids, and hopefully your great-grandkids. We are making a significant investment in this project. Last summer, our Board of County Commissioners approved the acquisition of this facility. As you all know, we need more. And so this is the beginning. And I wish we could say we're going to solve every problem with this, but we won't. But I tell you what, it's going to be an amazing start to filling the gaps that have been developed. So many interests can be met in this facility. What we do first, that has been mostly established. We're going to start with the natatorium. So I want to set expectation, but it's not all designed. Phase 2 may be where more of you are interested in where we get into sports, athletics. I see this exhilaration nation over here, we over me. I love the colors, so I know what they're going to express their interest in, and I'm happy to hear it. We want to hear what all of the interests are for Charles County, and really not just for this project. We hope to have future projects. There's 130,000 square feet. There's 8 acres. We want to maximize every single dollar that the county has put into this project. We want to be able to have things for you to do in your free time, holidays, evenings, weekends, daytime if you're retired, or if you want to take a break from telework, whatever it is that you do. We want this facility to be as much as it possibly can. And so while this is just the first opportunity, there are going to be more. We want you to go tell your neighbors, your friends, your family, whoever in your household that didn't even come. We want to hear from everybody possible. We will negotiate and we will build consensus as a community on how we move forward. And so that's why it's so important that you're here. I was dreaming about this last night. I woke up so excited. I said, oh my God, I hope hundreds of people come. I hope thousands of people fill out this survey. Why? I've been here in this role 3 years, and I have heard we need more, we need more, we need more. Guess what? The board recognizes you need more too, and they are trying to fill the needs, and it is my distinct pleasure to lead the department and work with all the other county agencies to make that happen for you. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Sam Drury.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Sam Drury. I am the Deputy Director here with Recreation, Parks, and Tourism. And as Kelly said, again, we couldn't be more excited about this project as we keep planning this and moving this forward. I've been with the county for over 20 years, and this is very much a long time coming. I've heard numerous times, I mean, countless times, that questions of why don't we have this in Charles County, and being able to bring this to you all. It's really, truly a pleasure, and I look forward to leading this project as we continue this journey for everybody. Real quick, a little bit of background about the project was the former Sears building here that we're all standing in was purchased by the county on July 24th of 2024. Prior to this, we had made a recommendation to our county commissioners for a capital improvement project. There was an identified need that came out, again, not just from people coming to us telling us what we need, but through our land preservation, parks and recreation plan. It was an identified need that we knew we needed additional indoor space here in Charles County. So we put forth the capital improvement project. Prior to this, it had been approved, and we had money set aside for land acquisition. At that time, we didn't have a site identified, but as we were going through the process, this building became available, and we started exploring this as an option. And as we did so, we started doing some additional site work and analysis, and we realized that this really could be a great fit for a sports and wellness complex. And truly with this, again, a couple pieces that we wanted to make sure that we could fit was specifically an indoor pool, an auditorium at a high level, competitive level that we could, again, serve the need that we have here in the community. All of our pools right now are shared use pools with the Charles County Public Schools, and we have a great relationship with them. But we don't have daytime activities out there, and we do have limitations. We also know that the College of Southern Maryland, again, closed their facility after COVID and did not reopen. So we knew that there is a need, and again, we recognize that as a true priority as we start to build this and with our first phase. So with that, again, and I'm going to introduce Aaron Smith with A. Morton Thomas is our consultant here, and he's going to be going through some of the project overviews. But one of the things that I wanted to share, and again, as Kelly touched on, we really want the community engagement through this. We did an initial site analysis and site survey knowing that we could fit a pool within here, but there's so much more that we can do with this area. And as we go through this next design phase and this design process over these next few months, we want to refine the design based off of your needs and again, really incorporate that into our conceptual design. And we're looking to do this in phases, with the first phase here focused on the envelope of the building itself, and then the second phase of what else we can do on the property, and then the third phase is how we can tie everything in to the overall community here. And one of the big things that we really want to focus this on is a true community hub. We want this to be a center where everybody can come to, everybody feels welcome, a true multi-generational facility, and again, to be able to be a place for the community to come as well as for visitors to come out here, and again, be an economic driver to the community here. With that, again, I do want to share a little bit about the project and how to follow it as we keep moving through this process. Everything that we're doing tonight will be posted, actually it has already been posted on our county's Engage page. You will see throughout the building tonight various QR codes. Please encourage you to, again, click on the code, get to our county Engage page, and follow this project, not just now, but all the way through the completion until we open the doors. We also will be posting information up on via our social media accounts. We'll be providing updates to our county commissioners. And again, we really want them as much community participation as we can. Again, as Kelly said, thousands of people is our goal for the community survey. So not only are we looking for the engagements tonight, and we'll talk about how we want to break out and gather information, but after this, we want you to go online and fill out their survey as well. And one last, the link at the bottom, and again, the presentation is also up online. This will take you to our Engage page, which will, again, have all the information on there. And again, with that, I'm going to turn it over to, again, Mr. Aaron Smith with A. Morton Thomas, our consultant, to lead a little more information about the project, and then I'll come up to wrap up about our next steps here for tonight.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Good evening. Again, my name is Aaron Smith. I'm with A. Morton Thomas and Associates. AMT, quickly, we're an engineering, construction inspection survey company. We're based here in Maryland, and we've been in business for over 60 years. I'm a civil engineer by trade, but I've been working with a group of engineers and architects to support the county with this project. And I just want to say quickly, we're really excited to be part of this project. It's not only because of the obvious community involvement, but the repurposing of a space like this and the larger vision for this area, it's really unique, and it's forward thinking, and we're just excited to be a part of it. So that's my quick spiel. But what I'm really here to do is talk to you about what we've been working on up to this point this evening. And again, our efforts been focused on supporting the county in their work and in purchasing the property, and then starting to try to envision what could be possible on this property. And the way we did that was we worked through a feasibility study, and that feasibility study was broken up into essentially 2 steps. One, we wanted to get an idea of what's on the site now. We did an existing conditions assessment, and then we started getting into some of these visioning ideas and looking at different concepts. And what's important to note here is that these concepts are a starting point. We needed to have something to kind of develop our initial thoughts, but it's a starting point, and we're here tonight to hear from you to inform the design as it moves forward. So as I said, our first step was to work through an existing conditions assessment. We looked at both the interior and exterior of the building. We looked at all the available records. And we came out here and did our own visual analysis and looked at, to make sure that the records that we had matched what was out on site. We also did some soil tests. We did some soil borings on the property. It was important to understand what the soils are underneath to inform the future design. We also looked at, as part of that study, we did borings inside the building, which is a little unique. But when you're looking to put a pool potentially inside of a building, you want to understand what those soils are beneath the slab. So we did do that investigation as well. Louder. Okay, sorry. I'll try to be louder. So then, once we had an understanding of what the existing conditions are, we started working through these different concepts. And again, it's important to note that the project's being approached in phases. Phase 1 is the natatorium, which is, again, the repurposing of this building and creating an indoor aquatic facility for you. And then moving on to phase 2, which would be the larger sports and wellness complex and some outdoor amenities that would be part of that. And then a future phase 3, which is a larger vision for this area that includes this site, the O'Connell Lake, the mall, and creating this business, arts, and entertainment district. So we worked through these different concepts, and we started with phase 1, obviously, and looking at this building. And our starting point was, can we get a 50-meter competition level pool in this building? So as you can see on the slide here, we worked through a design, and you're able to accommodate a pool of that size in this building. If you can kind of envision, we're all sitting on the second floor of this building. This new 50-meter pool will be on the floor below us. And actually, the majority of the floor that we're on will be removed, and it'll be open to the pool below. So whenever you're designing an indoor aquatic facility, there's certain elements that go along with that. You need your locker rooms, you need your mechanical equipment, some pool filtration equipment. So when we worked through this design, we made sure that those elements were incorporated. And even with those elements, because of the space of this building, there's ample space for other uses. And that's one of the things that we want to hear from you tonight is, we have this indoor aquatic or this competition pool. What other indoor aquatic elements would you like to see in this building? What other uses would you like to see in this building? So again, we're just getting started, and we want to hear from you. So that's phase 1. So then we continue to kind of work through this visioning process on what could be possible on the site for the larger sports and wellness complex. And we needed to figure out a starting point for that. And that was generally looking at, okay, what are some other needs for the county? What are some needs for the region And then also, what's a large indoor sports element? We wanted to kind of maximize the space, see what could really fit on the property. So we moved forward looking at an indoor track facility. So we worked through that design and determined that you could fit another building on this site in addition to this building, which will be an auditorium, and that building could accommodate an indoor track facility. Again, these are just ideas at this point. We want to hear from you. What other indoor sports would the community like to see? But even if you built an indoor track facility, this building would be able to accommodate additional uses. And again, that's what we want feedback from you on, is what can be incorporated into this project. As part of that phase 2, there's also an opportunity for some outdoor elements. Our initial thoughts were, you could add some playgrounds. Potentially, if you're familiar with the site out here, there's a slope that goes down to the lower parking lot. How can we use that slope? Can we create some casual seating, create an amphitheater? Again, these are just ideas to kind of get everybody thinking of what is possible. And then obviously the phase 3, which is the larger goal for this area and a larger goal for an arts and entertainment district, that's just getting started. Some of the thoughts on what that could be. So again, we're here tonight to hear from you. This is just the starting point, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Aaron. To talk about some of the next steps as we go through this process, again, as we're here tonight, again, want to reiterate, again, I know it's been said many times, we want to hear from you. We want to gather as much input and feedback from you, and not just here in person, but in the public survey, which will be online. Encourage all of you to please share this public survey with your friends, put it on your Facebook, again, at your church, again, at the schools. We want to try to make this as broad reach as possible to gather as much input and feedback as we can, because this will further help Aaron and his team as we continue the design through this process. We will be following back up later in March with a follow-up community meeting number 2. We'll be looking at both a virtual option as well as an in-person option to bring these ideas that we have heard from you all. We'll bring the concept drawings back for you all to see kind of the thoughts and visions behind things, what may be able to fit, what may not be able to fit, and again, start to refine some of the design a little bit further. And again, with that meeting, we'll also be collecting additional feedback from you all. Again, what do you all think of that design? And then again, a follow-up meeting on later in May, early May, to have a community meeting number 3, and then to finalize these concepts plans by early June. And again, with that, we will also be presenting these concepts to our county commissioners for their review, and again, their thoughts behind things too. Overall, with the projects, again, we do have, again, a feasibility study and design concept plan that we're working through right now. Beyond this, we'll be working with our procurement office and team to work on an overall design build to put an RFP together to take that next step forward. Ideally, our goal is to have that awarded by early next year, and to be able to again, break ground and start the process towards the actual renovation and construction. Yeah. So for tonight, before we go through and break out into our next phase of things, I do want to take a minute to make a couple other additional acknowledgments. One, we had 2 other commissioners come in, Commissioner Amanda Stewart. And I saw Commissioner Ralph Patterson. And I also want to acknowledge we have many of our departmental staff out here. And they will be scattered throughout our various tables back in the back. And again, I encourage you all to continue the conversations with them. We have as people have come in, everybody should have received orange stickers. Everybody should have, on those should be 12 orange stickers. And if you did not receive them, again, we have more at the sign-in table when you come in. But this next step is, again, your opportunity to provide feedback to us. What we'd like you to do is go around. We are going to have 6 stations set up on the back side that you guys may have seen as you were walking through. One of the stations is specifically on the natatorium, and what are some aquatic ideas or elements that you would like to see? We have a sports complex. What are some of the additional sport amenities that we would like to see in a phase 2? There is image boards for additional indoor amenities that we could put within a facility. There's image boards for additional outdoor amenities. So what we're asking is at each of those 4 image boards that you all use 3 stickers to pick your top 3 and to place on what your ideas are your priorities. Additionally, we have a budget table. Mr. Jake Dyer, who is our Director of Fiscal or Acting Director of Fiscal Administrative Services, is somewhere in here in the building right now. They're waving in the corner back in the back. He will be manning one of the tables up front if anybody has any specific questions about our budget. I know that has been a question that has been asked, and we understand that. This has been an approved capital improvement project budget. But again, Jake will be able to answer any of the project specific as we look forward with what our current funding is at, as well as this will be something that we will bring forward with additional phasing requests that we will make to our budget office and to the county commissioners. And we have one last table. Miss Kelly Robertson Slagle is in the building there. She is waving back in the back. And again, an important partner of ours is our economic development team. And our Department of Economic Development. And one of the things that we want to be sure that we're tying in with this building is the commitment and opportunities to work with the local businesses and in fact to expand the businesses. Again, we want this to be a revitalization project to help further spur some economic impact here to the community. So Ms. Kelly Robertson Slagle will be out there too. Again, please share any ideas or thoughts that you may have about business ideas or opportunities that you would like to see or her department to pursue further that could be potential partners with this project. Again, we really do see this as a community hub and something that will be great for everybody in so many different ways. So with that, again, as we go through, Thank you. Also, in addition to the stickers that everybody has, at each table there are also index cards. And if there are any specific questions that you have or any ideas that aren't specifically expressed on the image boards, please write those down and provide that information to the staff. And we will be collecting all of that. And again, we'll be getting that to Abe Morton Thomas to have further discussion to really help steer the design of everything. And again, I encourage everybody to, again, please go through, take public survey. We're going to leave this up here so anybody can also come up and scan the QR code and get to the public survey. But again, a lot of that information will also be collected through the public survey. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Again, this is a wonderful turnout. Again, we had honestly no idea what to expect as we put this out there. And again, it's great to see everybody out here. And I do see many familiar faces as well as many new faces. So thank you all for coming out. And we look forward to working with you throughout this project. Again, as we go through tonight, please seek out any of our Recreation and Parks and Tourism staff, ask any questions, and we look forward to the conversations. Once you have posted your stickers or left any questions that you have, you are free to go. We aren't going to be doing any follow-up presentation tonight. All of this information, the presentation will be posted up online. So anybody that was not able to make it but would like to see this, they're able to go back and view this. And again, there are also ways to engage directly online for any future conversations. So thank you all very much. And again, we can start making our way to some of the display boards. Again, if there are some that are a big line at one, please spread out, make your way throughout any of the tables there, and be patient as we have these conversations. Thank you.